What's going on, everybody? It's your boy. Yeah, that's right. We're doing one of those intros. And today I'm going to teach you exactly how to use Fruity Loops on your computer. Fruity Loops, full FL Studio tutorial right now, coming at you live on the YouTube. You're welcome. This software right here, I've used since I was about maybe 12, 13 years old. Started out on FL12. FL12. I'm going to break each part into segments. There's going to be a chunk, and I'll talk about that chunk, and then we'll move on from there. So this main chunk right here is the playlist. The playlist is where everything gets arranged from start of your song to the very, very, very end of your song. It's extremely, extremely helpful and extremely, extremely needed. These things here are called tracks. You have 1 track, 2 track, 3 track, 4 track. This is where you get to have fun with it. You get to play around and make it look beautiful, make it look efficient, make it look whatever you want, because it's all your thing and you get to do whatever you want. No one can tell you what to do. But this is your playlist. Off to the side, we have our main bar, our main drop down, whatever, the file browser, where you download your files off the internet and you go and browse all of your files in the file browser. Usually, I can't remember which one, the stock Fruity Loops samples, can't remember which one they're called. Packs. All right, if you've just downloaded Fruity Loops demo version off of the internet, you will have a thing called packs. I guarantee it. Usually, man, do I tell you how to download sounds as well in this thing? No, that can be next video, okay? This video, we're only going to be doing basic FL Studio plugins, sounds, arrangements, everything. Everything I do, you can do, okay? Follow along. We have our packs, drums, more audio, flex, instruments, legacy, loops, rises, SFX, shapes and vocals. Now see down here, this is my packs. These are my 2 packs here, samples and samples 2. Why do I have samples 2? Because it's better than samples 1. This is essentially, these are all my samples. These are all my cool kits. So, yeah, you aren't going to have any of these. And I'm not going to teach you in this video how to get these, because in this video, we are simply learning how to use Fruity Loops. Now, let's click on drums. Bloop. Delicious. What do we do if we want a little boom, boom? I'll tell you exactly what we do. We get our kick sound, click on kicks, and we have all of these little orange things to pick from. Now, a pro tip, if you click on the very top one, you can hear it. And if you click on your little down arrow, you can sort through every single one of them. This is the most fun thing to do. This is literally the funnest thing to do. You download something brand new off the internet and you just sit here for hours listening to all the weird sounds you've just downloaded. But you've just downloaded Fruity Loops, and these are the only sounds that you have. How do we get the sounds into the playlist, the main chunk, the main area? Well, that's where our third section comes in, the top bar. Look at this scary, aggressive top bar. You're probably looking at this thing going, oh my God, am I in a fighter jet right now? You are, but don't worry, I'm a pilot. This little bar right here next to your pattern, depending on the size of your computer screen, this may look completely different for you. And also too, you can add different buttons and remove different buttons. I can't remember if I put any more in or taken any out, but you should see a little section right here where it's like this weird box with the 3 dots, this weird looking, like, I don't even know. And then like more boxes with more 3 dots, and then a little weird thing like that, and like this thing. These are the icons that you are going to be jumping through the entire time you use this software, because each one of these is a new different page. So let's start off with the pattern. See this thing right here? This is called the channel rack. It'll be 3 rectangles next to 3 tiny little squares. We click on that and boom, we have a channel rack. Now for you, you may open Fruity Loops and the channel rack may already be there. You may have been looking at your thing going, oh my God, it doesn't look exactly like his. Don't worry. You click on this thing, gets rid of it, it brings it back. Dun, da, da, da. Fruity Loops, every time you open Fruity Loops, you'll get these sounds. I think everyone comes with a flex bass now. I think that's what they're doing. So if you click on this green thing, it'll bring this thing up. This is a plugin. Don't worry, I haven't done magic. You click on any of these presets and it just gives you cool noises to play around with. Pretty simple. For our purpose and for the sake of what we are doing, very quickly, click up here on the little file button. New from template. You want to go there and then drag your mouse down and click on empty. Empty, empty, empty every single time. Empty is the best way to go, because then you don't have anything in your mixer. You probably don't know what that means, but it's okay. You'll figure it out later. I'll save you a lot of time. Now look at that. I've clicked on new and my channel rack is completely naked right now. All it says is this tiny little sampler thing. What is a sampler? It's a tiny little exoskeleton shell ready to hold the first sound. Now, don't worry, that may sound weird, that may sound different. Essentially, if you take this first kick here and you drag it into the sampler, and we click on it, you'll see that the kick is now inside of the sampler. Now, don't worry, you don't have to grab a new sampler every single time. You can just grab a kick and drag it, and see the tiny little purple bar that just popped up? Click it there. It brings in its own sampler, but don't worry, you get a new one every single time you click. New from template, empty, do not save anything. All right, now we've got all of that sorted. Our channel rack is there. Let's start with the boots and cats. The boots and cats of every song. Kick. Let's start with a 707 kick. We'll drag that into our sampler. Claps. Here we go. More audio. See how I've just went drums, drums, more audio, claps. Delicious. Drag, purple bar, release. 2 sounds. How do we get these sounds into our playlist, into our pattern? Channel rack. As you can see here, we've got our kick and our clap. If you click on this, the first little node, and then you press your spacebar, you'll notice that there's a tiny little thing going along, and we are currently playing our pattern. There's a difference between playlist and pattern.
Pattern, you can build your own things. You could build an entire song inside of your pattern, but that would be extremely annoying. And then playlist is where you bring all of the little patterns that you've done and then arrange them together in a way where it makes a song. So for our instance, we'll have our kick and clap pattern. You can have a kick.
But for the sake of what we are doing, we're just going to go boots, cats, 1 on every 4th. Boom, cut, boom, cut. Delicious. Let's go back up to that top bar. All of these things here will help you out. Every single one of them has their own different function. It is extremely intimidating when you first start, especially if you are 12 years old. Don't worry, if you're 12 years old, if you're 12 years old right now watching this, don't worry, I was in your boots, big dog. This tiny little thing up here, this is your BPM, the 140. It's right next to your pattern, play, pause, record button. If you want to make your song faster, turn it up or down. For the sake of this video, let's make something extremely groovy, like overly groovy, so you learn how to make something overly groovy, because I think that's awesome and sick, and everyone should know how to make groovy stuff. Now, so I've minimized this screen right here. You can full screen it, or you can minimize it. You can play around with it. Notice how this little section here, the playlist, has its own set of buttons. These buttons up here are catered for the playlist. Your pen tool is what helps you click. Your paintbrush tool is what helps you paint. Your delete tool is what helps you delete. But don't worry, you don't have to select the delete tool every single time. You can just... We've got our boots and cats. We're in the arrangement. We've full screened our playlist. We've got our pattern in the playlist. If I come up here to the little thing where it says the BPM, the record and everything, and I click on song, we'll see that a tiny little orange dot just appeared in our playlist. That means now that if we press the spacebar, we are playing inside of the playlist. This is where the whole song will be made. If you right click on this bar up here and push in, it'll zoom in for you. And you can see that right now. You can see those tiny little dots are what we put in. If you double click on it, it'll bring you into the piano roll. Now, depending on... Sorry, I've probably gone way too fast for you already. We are in the piano roll right now. This is where you will make our pianos, our sounds, our everything. It is also used for kicks. Notice how everything is playing on the C. That is for drums. Unless you are like extremely like Jacob Collier level good at music, you would play your kick at a D if your song is in D. We don't know music theory on this channel, and we're never going to learn music theory on this channel, okay? Got a problem with that? Oh, you don't? Stick around. If you do, keep scrolling, buddy. Or keep clicking, whatever you do on YouTube. Now let's click on our channel rack. Remember this thing, hey? It's in the piano roll. This is like the universal tool. It'll come with you everywhere you go. If I delete this, oh, what's that? It's gone. How did I delete it? Right click, baby. Very extremely simple, basic stuff. Yeah, we're in our piano roll now. And if I click space, notice how it comes to this second bar here. It plays 4, and then it comes to the second bar. It's like the exact same thing on the playlist. It's the exact same. It's like mirrored. It's like boop, 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 boop. You're going to learn how to do all of that throughout the entire time. Now let's click on our channel rack and let's go over to our sounds. Find a shaker. Ooh, I like that. If I drag this into here and I right click on it, we'll see that it brings up a little drop down menu. Now you're probably looking at this going, oh my God, Jed, no, you've opened up another thing and now it's gone back to looking like a freaking fighter jet. Don't worry, you're not in a fighter jet. All you need to know is fill each 2 steps. Now if we press space, extremely basic and simple stuff. But when you are first learning how to do all of this, it is like rocket science. What does every good kick, clap, shaker trio need? Trio? It needs a sound. It needs a synth. It needs something bassy. Boom, 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 boom. Where do you find your sounds in the behemoth that is Fruity Loops FL Studio? You come up to these jumpy buttons. Remember how I said that this one is actually, shoot, did I say this one was the piano roll? Bang, that's the piano roll. That's where it is. You can also go to the piano roll by right clicking and clicking on piano roll on your channel rack. That is channel rack, right click, piano roll. Or you can just click on the piano roll. Now, if you click on the piano roll and you see that it's the kick is selected, but you don't want to do that, you can click on the channel rack and right click piano roll. Now it'll swap over to the claps. I think there is a shortcut for that. I'm too lazy. I just do it that ways anyways. But if we come up here, we'll see that there's this little plug icon. This little plug icon is the coolest thing you'll ever look at in your entire life, everybody. We're all going to click it on 3. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness. What are we even looking at right now? Well, I'll tell you what. Mine's going to look a little different to yours because I've got so many flipping plugins. It's not crazy. RX11, Omnisphere, OBXD, Massive X, LFO Tool, Contact, Helm, Serum, SampLab. All the ones that don't have a little icon are not native to Image Lines, Fruity Loops. What that means is these are stock ones. The ones with faces, the ones with cool little pictures to look at, they are Fruity Loops plugins, and those are the ones that we are going to be working with today. Flex will be your best friend when starting out. I didn't have Flex when I was on Fruity Loops. I had FL Keys and Citrus. You will have Flex. All you have to do is hold over Flex, click it, and now you're holding onto Flex. Look at this. We're dragging him around. It's super cool and awesome. Once again, you can put him in between. You could put him above. You can put him wherever you want, but let's put him at the bottom. Oh my God, it's gone back to a fighter jet. Don't worry, I'll tell you how to operate all of this stuff. Essentially, all you need to do is get rid of all of this stuff. Don't even think about it. Don't even look at it. Don't even do anything. Flex is the sound bank. This is where you'll get your sounds. This side bit here, this very far left side bit is where you'll find your essential guitars, pianos, strings, winds, whatever the heck. And then inside of that, you'll find the different variations. So if you click on essential guitars, you'll see that there's a bunch of different stuff. Another really awesome thing too is you can click on your keyboard. So if you click on the B key, if you click on the V key, if you click on the C key, if you click on the X key. Now, if you do click on that and it didn't work, here's a quick fix. Click this button right here. Now, if I turn this back on, see that little icon is pink? Our keyboard is now a keyboard. Now it works is the very bottom row key is the first 6 or 7 of the white keys, and then the top row in the middle, so the A to L is your black keys, and then the Q to P are the higher next octave up, and then the 1 to 0 are the black keys of that octave. So think of it as like chopping a piano into 2 and then sitting them on top of each other like that. And then that is your keyboard layout, essentially. We don't care about any of that because we don't know how to use music theory. I don't really want to use a guitar for this one. Let's use pianos, close, grand. So much fun. Let's close Flex, and then let's go back to our channel rack. As you can see here, we are on the channel rack, but our clap is selected. So what do? Right click on the close grand, piano roll. Now, if you click on your keys, you could see that it's playing music, it's playing stuff. How do we get music to work? I don't know. I'm not Mozart, I'm not Picasso, I'm not any of them. But all I know is that you click, you drag your thing out, you zoom in a little. So let's make a chord. Let's do a C, A, E. That's a third, I think. If we say, oh my God, sorry, I've just done some more voodoo magic. Don't worry, it's okay. Remember, inside of the piano roll, we have our tools for inside of the piano roll. They sit directly below the main things that'll sit at the top. These are inside of your piano roll. As you can see, it's cut off by this little triangle thing. All I did was hit the select button and then drag and select the 3 notes that I just clicked in with the pencil tool. And then what I can do from the pencil tool after I've selected them all is extend and drag them all the way out. Now, I said I want to make something groovy. I, Jed, with no music theory, I'm going to make something groovy. And I promise you that. Dun, dun. I need a dun. I think that's like the next third up. Now, we've got our piano, but it seems to be a little bland and repetitive. Don't worry. Select tool. Oh! Now, this is fun. Command B if you're on a Mac, Windows key or Alt. I can't remember specifically, but Windows key Alt B, Command B, and it duplicates. It's not Command C, Command V, like copy and paste. Oh, what was that? Our drums are missing. Well, guess what? We need to go into our channel rack, extend this out. Now, as you can see that the inside of the channel rack, as I've copied and pasted the first lot of pianos, it's gone over to the second lot of 4. So this was our first one that we did. And then there's this next bit over here. What I can do from here is right click on the shaker and press fill to again, and it'll fill it out. I could manually click them in, which is exactly what I'm going to do for the rest of this stuff because it's 4 simple little easy clicks. Bang, bang, bang. Just like that. Now our drums are all back. Delicious. But once again, Jed, it's repetitive. What do we do about that? Well, now that it's longer and now that it's sitting all inside of our pattern and inside of our piano roll, we can play with it a little. So let me think about what I'm going to do first, and then I'll get back to you.
Okay.
Everyone, pause your media players right now and copy this in. Let's have a listen. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of these drums, to be honest. Let's hear it with the drums. I think the first problem that we have, and this is a very, very easy fix, let's turn off all of the sounds in the channel rack. We click on our piano roll. You can see here that we've only got the thingo selected. What? What do you want? Where are you? Let me get a video of my dog for you guys. Meow. What do you want? What do you want? I'm busy. Go away. Now, we grab our selector tool. We can also use the selector tool to select the main top alignment thingo. And then remember, Command B, that copies that over. So let's copy this over the full way of the thinger. And then if we click with our selector tool, we get rid of that red line. Pencil tool, let's drag this little bottom thing up here. This is our little control panel. We can control the panning, the velocity, and the release. What is the panning? Hey, have you ever heard a sound in this earphone, but then it comes over in this earphone? That's panning. Left to right panning. Velocity is how hard something hits. So let's play with the velocity. Oh, this is really hard to look at for more than like 10 seconds. All right, so we've done the first chunk of the velocity. We can get rid of all of these ones now. And then just select the tool, select this chunk, B, B, B. See how that feels groovier. Let's play with our drums a little bit so we get the groove going. Now, if you followed that along and you're currently doing that on your computer, you are going to feel like a space tech engineer. It's going to be awesome. Now, this is where you have to like kind of figure it out for yourself. I can't really tell you where things go because all of this is a rhythm thing. And the more you learn what sounds good, practice beatboxing. Practice sitting there going while the thing's playing, and then look at where you need to click your kick in as you're beatboxing. You'll watch the thing come along and you'll go boop, 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 and then you'll zoom in. You'll try and figure out where the kick goes. Trust me, dude, it's all trial and error. Trial and error, but you will get it, and it will be awesome. So keep up at it, man. What is that? Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's another kick here, then it's the velocity all the way down. That was a little slow, so what we do is we bring it a little closer. That didn't sound quite right. So what we can do is, stay with me, everybody. This top little section up here, what you do is you go magnet tool, bang. What is this? Trust me, you're going to spend a lot of time in here. If we click the none option, what it does is it makes it so that it snaps to nothing. So if I click a kick in, it's not snapping to anything. This is really handy for when putting in like piano sounds, trying to make it sound good like I've done here. And also too, it's really good for playing around with samples. But if we click on it and we bring it to a third beat, if we drag this over here, we'll notice that now it's taken that 4 section and it's turned it into a 3 section. If we put one here on this third, that was groovy, and that was exactly what we were looking for. Now, playing around with the 3 beats and the 4 beats and the 6 beats and the 8 beats and the 100 beats and the 20 million gajillion billion beats, that's all on you, dude. You have to figure out how that works. You have to beatbox it out and figure out why. If this doesn't sound like I'm trying to make it sound as I beatbox it out, then I must be missing something. Right then and there, I missed it. I beatboxed it out, and then I played around with the tools, and then I figured it out. See, now I feel like it needs to be on every single one. So what we can do is delete all of my kicks, select a tool, select that section, Command B, 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 B. Oops, went a little too far. Pencil tool, delete these 2 here. That sounds flipping awesome. Now let's play around with the claps. I feel like at the very end here, we should have like a double clap kind of thing going on. Kind of like a weird delay effect going on there. Now let's go back to the channel rack and turn on our piano. Oops, hang on. Another good thing here, this section up the very top, remember, we drag this all the way to the very end. This is like our timeline scraper thing. You scrape it all the way over here, scrape it all the way over there. If you want to play halfway through, you're going to run over here. And it plays halfway through like that. If we drag it all the way back here, it plays here. But if you drag it all the way back to the start, trust me, it's the most handiest thing you'll ever need in your entire life. Now I'm not really feeling the groove. What do we need to... Sorry, microphone. What do we need to feel the groove? I'll tell you what. You need a flipping bass. Plugins. Remember the plugin icon at the very top? Once again, this is where we're going to be jumping around a lot. Now, at the end of the video, I'll show you how to do the mixer section. Let me click on that real quick. Oh my God, it's going back to a fighter pilot jet. Don't worry. Plugins, we're all good. Let's grab another instance of Flex, and then let's hover over our channel rack. And then let's tap it in like that. We'll just let it go and it falls in directly like that. Now, if we click on our piano roll, we'll bring us back to the piano roll, channel rack, and then we click on Flex. We want a bass. We want something good. We want something groovy. We want something that sounds fantastic. It makes us feel the groove. Essential bass guitars, good 80 fingered. Good 80 fingered, delicious. Sounds awesome. Piano roll. See how that tick's already there? That means that we can just click it and it's already in the piano roll. We don't have to do right-click piano roll anymore. Now, this is where things get a little different. We don't know music theory, but we kind of have to know music theory, but we also don't want to learn music theory, but we also kind of have to need to learn how to use music theory. All you do is you take your thing, zoom it in, take your guitar sound. See how it felt good then, but then the next chord hit and it didn't feel good. We drag this. That's good. And notice how you can kind of see the notes through the rest of it. You can kind of see our pattern is sitting back there. So if I could click on this, I go right-click piano roll, it brings up the pattern of the main thing. Fruity Loops gives you that cool little effect. Let me go beep, beep, beep. Now, once again, it is repetitive. I'm aware, but we can play around with that in a moment. But now, let's talk arrangement. Sorry, microphone. Click on our first button right here. Brings us to the playlist. We'll notice now, if we zoom out a little, our pattern's changed. Remember what it looked like at the very start? Now it looks like this. This is what the piano roll is. This is a copy paste thing. It's linked with the piano roll. So everything you do in the piano roll, it happens in the pattern. So if you change anything inside of the piano roll, make something a little longer, it'll make it longer in the playlist. But notice how we've got one pattern right here, the very top. It gives us our notes, our bass, and our little drums. But it's all in one pattern. How do we fix that and how do we change that? Well, if we come up to this little pattern selector right here, click the drop down menu, you'll see there's a tiny little button right here called split by channel. This splits every single track in your channel rack. Did you catch that? Channel rack, split by channel. This is a channel, this is a channel, this is a channel. If we come here, drop down menu, split by channel, what happened? It didn't do anything. Exactly. Just kidding. Boom, 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 boom. What have I done there? I've just dragged everything that was sitting on top of each other. So I've made one big thing and then it went bloop like that. And then I turned it all into tiny little things like that. So now we can play around with all of these. And then this is where the arrangement comes in. So we can click on our selector tool like that, Command B, 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 pen tool, right click the drums away. That's cool, and then it'll go into our bass. What I could probably do is, since that goes for a little too long. Oh no, wait, we don't even need to do that. We can, oh my god, I'm such a noob. Oh my goodness. If anyone saw that, if anyone caught that out, comment down below, say Jed, bro, you're such a noob. Ultra simple. Why? Why is it so simple and easy, Jed? Well, because I just taught it to you, and I'm the greatest teacher of all time. I taught Master Oogway. I taught Master Oogway. That's my boy. Now, what can I do? Let me think real quick. What other things do you need to know? Oh, the mixer. The mixer, where we play with the sounds and the levels of everything. Now, for the mixer, what I like to do is take my selector tool, and I like to select the loudest part of the song that has the most instruments going at the same time. Because as you get better and better at this, you will have like 50 versions of flex going all at the same time, playing all different instruments, playing all different notes and whatever. All I like to do is take the loudest part of my arrangement, the playlist, and then I like to click play. Now, as that plays, it'll play forever, and it'll ever forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. It'll just repeat itself. Why that is because if I click on this little icon right here, it looks like that. Look at it. Click on it. Oh my god, it's this thing. No, we're back to pilot cockpit. What do we do? Well, hang on a moment. I've just clicked play, and nothing's going through any of these inserts. What's happening? I'll tell you what's happening. If we click on our channel rack, see how we've got our little volume meter things to tell us that each one of these is playing. But see these little things here? These are your mix it, insert, selection thing, scroll thing, whatever the heck. If you take this and drag up, notice how it's taking it from the master to 1. That means now that this is playing through an insert, and we get to play with it in the mixer. We scroll to 2, scroll this one to 3, put this one in 4, put this one in 5. Now if I hit play, now remember, we've isolated the loudest part of the track, so if I bring it back over to the mixer, I can now isolate the sounds inside of the mixer while it plays all in the background. Notice how everything's playing in the background, but I'm only listening to singular things at a time. This is extremely, extremely handy. Now, what you're going to need is a pair of headphones so that you can hear low frequencies, mid frequencies, and high frequencies. This right here. This is our kick. If we come over to here, the mixer, insert, plugin, selection, whatever the heck, every insert has its own slots for plugins. But Jed, I thought a plugin was an entire new thing like Flex. No. They are all types of plugins. These are effect plugins. If we click on this one, oh my god, what have I done? No, we're back in the cockpit. Trust me, it's okay. Mine looks extremely overbloated because I am awesome, but yours right here should be from like the controlled all the way down to the bottom is what you guys should be looking at. All these extra ones here at the start are the ones that I've downloaded and they're uncategorized. But if we find Fruity Paramedic EQ2, this is your best friend when starting out. This thing right here is everything you need. Let's stretch it out. Let's hit play. Notice how everything's playing in the background because remember, we're playing the arrangement in the background and it's only the kick that's coming through the insert because I've selected it to only be the only thing that plays. I could select the clap, but we only want the kick. Now, in the selections for the kick, in the slots for the kick, I've selected Fruity Paramedic EQ. Now we can look at the feeling of the kick. What is an EQ? If you've ever used Spotify, you might know. Spotify has their own little EQ thing in play. But people spend their entire lives playing around in these things. These things right here, this is what an audio engineer does. This is what a mixer does. This is some pretty cool stuff, guys. Trust me. Essentially, all an EQ does is it makes different frequencies quieter and different frequencies louder. And that is up to you. So for the kick, you want a loud, punchy, boom, boom, boom. But you don't want to, like a hi-hat. You don't want it to sound like this. Can you hear that little tch? The kick is the lowest frequency, but it's the punchiest frequency. And it sits around here. Around here, sub to low bass. Notice how I've got all of this extra stuff kind of resonating around there. What I'm going to do is right click on this one, drag down to type, and then click on high pass. See how that's made the thing swoop down a little? If we come up to here and these little colored selections, what I can do from here is click and hold on this little tiny dot and then drag it up and turn it into 4 dots. All that does is increase the cutoff of the thing. Don't know why they did that, but it is handy. And then all you can do is you can use your scroll wheel to play around with the height of it. So if I cut out the lower frequencies, the low basses and the high subs a bit more punchy, That's good. Now also notice the kick here around this section. You hear that? You probably do because you're on an iPhone speaker. What we want is we're going to go click on here. Now we did a high pass for that end. Now let's do a low pass for the other end. Low pass. Let's not drag this up to 4 and make the cutoff harsher. Let's just scoop it in like this. Now you probably don't hear it because you're on an iPhone speaker. Let's click off of that. Now our kick is more bassy, but I like my kick to be loud and punchy. So I'm going to put on Fruity Blood Overdrive. Ooh, that sounds awesome. Yeah, that's good. Now if we bring in our clap. Let's add a Fruity Paramedic EQ. I'm going to speed this up now because you guys should be like on it. Notice how there were a few lower bass frequencies in that. There weren't much, but there were a few and we don't need them. We don't want them. Kind of makes our clap sound a little more brighter. Now our shaker is way too loud. And I can guarantee you, yeah, see there's a few lower frequencies in there. I don't want any low frequencies in anything that doesn't need to have low frequencies, because when we put in our bass, alright, so that's a harsh frequency. We can cut that out just a smidge. This is mixing. Now our piano is extremely loud compared to everything else. I want to be able to feel the bass, but hear the piano mostly. I don't even want to notice the bass is there. I just need it to be a little bit in the background. But for right now, let's play around with this piano. Pretty Paramedic EQ. There is a few low ends there, but that usually, it's not the worst thing to have a bit of low end in the main melody. Mixing is all about feeling. You want to feel it. You don't want it to kill your ears. Let's put a little bit of a spreader on it. So let's widen it out. What a spreader does is it makes it, instead of it sounding like it's right here playing inside of both earphones, it puts it so it's like separating it kind of. Does that make sense? Did I just make sense? Let's do Fruity Reverb as well. Turn the wet up. Size, here we go, size. This just makes it go. Notice how when I press play and then I stop, you can hear, yeah. Oh my god, my microphone. Now, in your early days of playing around with Fruity Loops, you're probably going to put on every single effect on one thing to try and like figure out what each of them do. My favorite are the flanges, the choruses, and where is it? I can't remember the name, but I'll know it when I see it. Sound Goodizer was it called? Where's Sound Goodizer? Can't see it. There's a plugin in here somewhere called Sound Goodizer, and it just makes it sound good. Now, this is basic and boring as. What do we do now? We add ourselves another flex. Let's do a little synthesis. For this next part, I'm just going to add a little metal. We're going to double click on the closed grand piano so that we're only inside of this pattern. And then we're going to click on the pattern so that we're only playing inside of the pattern. Notice how the little pink thing goes there, not there. There, that's how you know you're playing inside of the pattern. We're in the pattern, channel rack, right click, piano roll, and our pluck, pencil tool. Let's find a little melody. I might fast forward this section. And we're back. All right, let me find a different preset for this because it's not the greatest, but it does sound pretty sick. Hey, it works. Okay, that sounds extremely harsh, but I'll trust me, we'll put that through some processing. That'll sound sick as. Notice how the lead doesn't have an insert, but the fifth one is up here and the first one is here. Well, can I just grab this and put it at 6? Yes, I can. It doesn't matter. This is all organization, so you can. This is all up to you. First problem, extremely loud. Turn the volume down. Already like fixed it entirely. Now let's look at the EQ. What are the frequencies telling me? It's telling me it's extremely harsh at the high end. And it's telling me that there's a little bit of a low end dribble. So what we can do is high pass that, cut that off. Instead of low passing or high passing this, I might just drag it down so that the volume comes down a little. Just so it's not as harsh on the high end. But other than that, That with the drums, that actually might sound sick as. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Oh. That sounds sick. That sounds really, really cool. I'm really happy with that. What else can I add? Let me have a quick think. Actually, let me teach you all extremely very, very quickly. I know the last time that I made a Fruity Loops video on this channel, I quickly brushed over the idea of side chaining. What is side chaining? It's one of the most complex things to do in Fruity Loops if you're still learning, but if you've stuck around this long for the video, I'm sure you'll be able to handle it. So once again, let's come back. We've got our whole thing selected, so we come onto the mixer. Side chaining is taking the sound of the kick and using that sound to minus out the sound of the bass so that the two things aren't clashing, because the kick is a low frequency and the bass is a low frequency. So if I look at my Parametric EQ on my bass, all of the frequencies are playing it around here. And then if I look at the EQ on my kick, all of my frequencies are playing it around here as well. The way that the processing works is that it goes from first track in to last. So if you've got an effect on this and then you put a second effect, this effect is going to affect the effect of this effect. How do you sidechain in Fruity Loops, Jed? Well, I'll tell you. It's very, very simple and it's very, very easy. We take the sound of the kick. We highlight the insert one wherever the kick is. We come down to these little arrow things down the bottom. Notice how the kick is going from this track into the mixer. We want to route it through, clicking on this little arrow and bring it. See how it's brought a little line? Now if I click on it, see how it's playing the sound through this insert. So now I have two sounds going at the same time. What I want is to take that sound and minus it out. So how we do that is we open the slot and we find Fruity Limiter. Fruity Limiter is the most complex thing. Click on this drop down menu at the very top. Go to presets. Come down, transient shaping. Have this little side chain bar, drag it up to 1. So what that's telling Fruity Limiter, it's saying, hey, the volume that's coming into this track in this channel, take it out of what's already set on this channel. So the side chains here, all we need to do now is turn the threshold all the way down. You need to play with the knee a little, just let the knee sit a little bit. Attack all the way down, release all the way down, and the sustain just down a little bit, and then we play with those 3 knobs until we like what we sound. The visuals of this will probably make a lot more sense. This white stuff here is the bass, and this stuff here that is coming down is now the kick. So the kick is now a takeaway volume instead of an up volume. Instead of making noise, it's subtracting noise. Oh my God. So all you want to do is play with the attack and the release. Might need to turn the knee down a little. You just turn the knobs. Just turn the knobs until something feels good. Yeah. Outro time? I think it's outro time. Everybody, thank you all for watching my Fruity Loops tutorial, the ultra basic guide on how to get started in Fruity Loops. This will be for every beginner ever. There is nothing in this video that you can learn as someone who's been using Fruity Loops for more than like 2-3 years. So I want to thank everyone for watching. I'm really excited to edit this and get it out. It'll be super fun. Hopefully I help some of you guys, because that'd be awesome. That'd genuinely be awesome. I remember when I was starting, I would watch Simon Savita in the mix, Sharpie, Nick Mira. There's like so many other dudes. I can't remember names, but I'm like seeing a million faces right now. But there are so many people out there on YouTube making these sorts of videos. I thought, why not be one of them? Because I know how to use them. I know how to use the software, guys. Trust me, please. But no, thank you. Also, too, hang on, before we go, remember everybody, little homework, end of video homework. Notice how I've got 2 things playing in this one pattern? What do I do to separate them? Comment down below. Comment down below and tell me. Don't even go back and watch the video to try and figure it out. If you can remember what you're supposed to do, comment down below. That's how I know you stuck around. Also, at the very end of the comment, write 6-7. That's how I know you'll be at the very end of the video. So thank you all for watching. My name's Jed. I've been Jed. And yeah, man. Preach.